Hello. What is happening to the Christians today? What is happening to Christianity today? There's a lot of concern that people are leaving the churches, Catholic, Protestants, um, because, the shallowness of individuals, the inability for them to perceive value and morals, which frankly, I think the churches are not showing, are not giving, are not leading people in the direction that Christ wanted, in the direction that Christ taught. Give unto others. I've said this before, but it's worthwhile saying it again and again and again and again. We need people to understand that this Christ was all inclusive. I'm not preaching Christianity to anybody, but that is my background, and therefore I'm referring to it because I know it certainly better than Buddhism or Hinduism or Muslim teachings. But the understanding, the underpinning, the foundational issues that I strive to talk about, although in some forthcoming videos I'm going to be more specific, but in this one, it just saddens me to see what is happening to the so-called Christian construct of Christ's teaching. When people can demean, who say that they're good Christians, but speak hate, demean others, talk down to people who are not of their ilk, or of their heritage, or of their religion, or of their culture, but because they have power or prestige or whatever, they can do so. Now, these are main, the politics of today. But it's representative of other things. Not everybody and not all Christians are obviously, going around speaking condemnation of their fellow human beings. But they're allowing these things to happen. They're not saying anything. They're not doing the things that need to be done. They're not speaking out. And I've talked before about leadership because the two issues that I see and that are missing is agape, a simple love and respect of others, which Christ taught, and leadership, lack thereof in this case, especially from the Christian leaders of all. I can't speak to all denominations, and I know it's not happening everywhere, every place, but there seems to be a trend of allowing things to be said and done. And it's not political correctness. It's none of that nonsense. They use that as a scapegoat. They blame, the progressive elements of the society because of political correctness. And there should be respect for other people. Respect their titles. Respect who they are. Respect. Doesn't that mean you're going to do exactly what they are? Copy them and promote their perspective in life, but respect the fact that they have ideas, respect the fact that they're living souls. And this is not being done. It's sad. Now, and again, I have to emphasize it because I think the tendency of individuals who listen to people speak just formulate a background, formulate an idea of what, in this case, what I'm saying, without a comprehensive understanding of what I'm trying to do. And it's difficult to do. It's difficult for me to convey to you what I want you to hear, what I would like you to understand about what I'm trying to say. It's very difficult. This goes back to the concept of critical thinking, of trying to understand what people are trying to do when they say things. And that goes for the things that are good, because I'm not trying to demean the majority of people. There are some people that are not, they don't deserve a carte blanche attitude. They can say, do whatever the heck they want. They have to be held accountable to some standard of respect and accountability, some social regimen that needs to be adhered to. But this is getting worse and worse and worse. People are doing all kinds of things, especially in the power structure, and they've always done it. It's always people are people. They're corrupt. They're influenced by evil, by Satan, by their appetites, their desires. They are not looking at what is socially good, what is socially beneficial. They're looking at what is beneficial to them. Why do people go to crime? You know, why do people do unethical things? Why do doctors who have sworn the Hippocratic Oath, why do lawyers, especially in today's world, you hear it all the time? They're lawyers need lawyers. Lawyers need lawyers that need lawyers need lawyers. Why? What is so different? Is it the society? Is it the individuals? Well, we need direction. And we need the construct of Christ in our lives, whether you believe in Christ or not. That is not what I'm trying to say here. I'm not preaching Christianity. But Christ's example as a understanding of what Christianity truly is, and this is again my opinion, it's to redeem all, not few, not the ones that look like us or think like us or want to be like us or whatever the heck it is, whatever the cults or construct is that creates bias. And I'm going to do a video on that too. I wanted to anyway, at least speak to it. Not sure if anybody's really going to listen or hear. I had one video that picked up quite a few people, and I was quite pleased about that. But most of the videos don't go very far. A select group of people watch it. But regardless of who watches it, who hears the thought, it's the point of having the thought conveyed, putting it out into this society in some fashion, some way. So there's some impact, because there is a need in this world for people to utilize the two major tenets of Christ's teachings. And again, my opinion, I'm not a religious leader. I've had my problems with religion. And, I'm not here to have anybody follow my example. I'm not preaching that at all. What I am preaching is for you to think about doing good, good in itself, not allowing your appetites, your biases, your whatever it is that's going to cause pain and sorrow. If you think about what you're saying and what you're doing and fight against those things that influence others, influence your children, influence you to do better, to say more, to uphold standards, to be more aware. I know it's difficult. I understand it's difficult. I find it difficult. Of course, I don't get out very much, but I do want you to know and think about that I think that this society is in a turning point. It's not a complete mess, and people are going to go rampant, running around, going zombie-like. But there's potential for major harm. Major harm is being done. Don't get me wrong. Anytime there's change, and major harm's being done all the dang time. Doesn't matter what. Just look at the Ukraine. Major harm. For what? For what? Putin's ambition? Is that it? Is that the only thing that runs this thing? Oligarchs and money and power and, prestige. Is that the only thing that's causing this? There's a lot of things. It's complex. But you have to think about it, understand it, feel about it, talk about it. Give your input out there into this societal web, not just via internet, but in your conversations, in your example that you give, in your associations that you're in. When the subjects are brought up, talk about these things. Talk about the concerns in the society in general. And there is a critical thinking element to all of this. Of course there is. It's always that. But where is the Christ in the Christians that I see so much of, talking and not leading? The leaders are not washing the feet of those disciples. They're not. Anyway, again, it's food for thought. If it generates some thought, good thing. If anybody's watching this, I know it's generating some thought, so I appreciate that. But, if it goes a little farther, that would be even more of value. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to get to. Go to the good. Always go to the good. It's foundational. It's necessary in today's world because the future, is always at stake. Doesn't matter when you live. The future's always at stake. So be prepared. Be aware. Do what you can do. Go to the good. Agape. Accept. Within reason, within bounds. Accept others. Focus on others, the qualities that people give. Don't be naive, because there's bad people out there. And you leaders, whoever the heck you are, whether you're parents or school clubs or wherever you're leading, or politicians, whoever you are, lead because you are servants of those that you are responsible for. You are not the masters. You're not there just to gain. You are to give. And I hope you do. So if you'd like to subscribe, please do. If you haven't yet, and if you can pass, these videos on, if you think it has any merit and value, please feel free to do that. Thank you very much.